Ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Tuesday, your weekly movie TV discussion show. With me, as always, is Mr. Jay Lewis. What's going on, Jay?
What it is, Jive Turkeys.
Hey, you sound a lot better this week. The mic is coming in clear. It's sounding very nice this week.
Good. Yep, I fixed it. My webcam had a mic, and that's why it sounded like shit. Now I don't sound like shit anymore.
You don't sound like shit anymore. You sound really good.
Yes, thank you.
So how's everything going with you, man?
Good, and even better now, because I'm gonna pour myself a beer.
What are you drinking?
It's a local brewery of Virginia, and it's a double IPA. Ooh. So shit's gonna get weird tonight.
Well, it's bound to get weird because tonight we are talking about Quinton Tarantino. Quinton Tarantino, for those of you that don't know, I'm assuming probably like two of you, he's a bit eccentric. He's a bit weird. And as a person, he's a bit weird. But we love his films. We're huge fans of his films. And we decided, let's kick off the official Blue Tuesday episode 1 with, of course, Quinton. Now, I've spent the better part of the last week watching a few Quinton movies. I didn't get to go through his entire catalog simply because I didn't have that much time. But we're going to talk about our favorites. We're going to talk about some of the gems that people don't really talk about and things like that. And we're also going to be talking about, of course, Game of Thrones. And this is your heads up. We will be going into full spoiler mode when we talk Game of Thrones. That's right. Full spoilers for the season finale of the old Game of Thrones. We will also be joined later on tonight by Mr. Matt Miranda, who he is going to be our Quinton Tarantino specialist. He loves Quinton, and he wanted to talk about Quinton, so we're going to have him on tonight. It's going to be a good episode. And, of course, let's kick things off with what have we been watching. Mr. J. Lewis, what you been watching this week, man?
So movie-wise, like you, I there's just not enough time, and so I tried to squeeze in. I didn't squeeze in any of the Kill Bills, so I watched Inglourious Bastards in preparation.
Same.
I also finished Django last night.
Same.
And I watched Jackie Brown on Netflix Saturday night.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, those are the three movies, and then of course the ridiculous Game of Thrones season finale. That now I'm sad that we have to wait approximately 2 years for another episode.
Are they saying 2 years? Has that been confirmed yet?
It's like 15 to 17 months, like spring of 2019. I mean, in all fairness, they're 90-minute episodes, so they're almost like feature length. They're like short feature length films, and they're doing 6 of them. So that for television, that's pretty good. Like, I can't complain too much. They're doing in 15 months. They're doing 6 movies essentially.
Yeah, they start filming again in October, so I'm expecting we'll probably get leaks and a few set pictures and things like that. Because after this week's episode, there is a lot to talk about. Some good, some bad, like every TV show. I'm super excited for the next season. I'm a bit disappointed like you, though. We have almost a 2-year wait for the next season, but I think that's pretty awesome that they're like, look, it's going to be a shorter season, but you're getting hour-and-a-half long episodes. So it kind of evens out a little bit.
Yeah. It's just going to be a bunch of zombies, dead zombies, and it's going to be epic. And it's going to get real crazy. And I'm going to be sad when it's over.
Yes. Just to kind of go over some of this week's Blu-ray releases, nothing to note. It's actually kind of a week. So without where the frick? I lost my place on the page. Okay. August 22nd, 29th. Where are you? Where the hell are you?
Are you looking? Are you on Blu-ray.com?
Yeah. Here, I'll just do this. Release calendar.
So, let's see. August 22nd? Is that what it was?
We're on the 29th. This Tuesday. I got it. For this week, we've got Lion King on Blu-ray, which is arguably probably the best thing that's coming out this week on Blu-ray. I don't think there's anything else that's really a standout thing. I'm sure most of you have seen Lion King. If you haven't, you didn't have a childhood. Star Wars Rebels, the complete new season. Ronin with Robert De Niro. That is a classic film. If you haven't seen Ronin, you have to see Ronin. It's got one of the greatest car chases of all time.
I've seen it, but it's been a minute.
It's been a long time for me too.
Yeah. Holy shit! There are 2 Lion King sequels.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Lion King 1.5.
Yep.
And Lion King 2 Simba. Wow.
Yeah. Well, 1.5 technically doesn't count. 1.5 is kind of it's seeing everything from Timon and Pumbaa's perspective.
Oh.
Yeah. It's not bad. It's okay. I've seen it. Gotham, the complete 3rd season. Why would you guys watch that? I don't know. Are you a Gotham fan?
I haven't started. I've watched like the first few episodes and didn't really get into it, but I've had multiple people tell me it's amazing and that I need to watch it. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I've tried watching the first season. I could not do it. Although I have heard it does get better. Mainly when they introduce Great Value Joker. I forgot the guy's name in there, but he's actually a pretty fucking good Joker from the clips that I've seen him in. So I want to give it a shot just to watch him. Other than that, there's been some stills that were released this week of Bruce. The kid's finally older now, so he's like starting to train to become Batman, and he looks like he's wearing a gimp outfit.
Awesome.
Yeah. Kind of relating to what we're talking about tonight with Pulp Fiction. It looks like he almost looks like the Gimp from Pulp Fiction.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Like whoever thought that was a good design should be immediately fired. The other big release this week is Batman and Harley Quinn, a movie that, based on the trailer alone, has been seemingly getting a lot of hate online. I understand why. They couldn't get apparently Tara Strong to do the voice for Harley Quinn, so they got the chick from Big Bang Theory.
Oh, jeez.
Not the one, the nerdy one. I forgot her name. Not the blonde one. I don't watch Big Bang Theory, so
it's the chick's wife in the movie or in the show.
I don't know.
Is it Jim Parsons' girlfriend or wife? Is that what you're talking about? Not the girl Penny, but Mayim Bialik.
I have no clue, dude.
Yeah, I think this is her.
Yeah, but apparently she's not that good in the movie, apparently, is what I've heard. And I've got kittens behind me that are just running around.
Are those the ones you're fostering?
Yeah, we're fostering 3 of them. We're keeping 2.
Nice.
It wasn't my choice.
That's all right. Cats are awesome. Have you ever had cats before?
Oh yeah, I've got one right now. We have one.
That's right. I've got 2. I love them. They're great.
Oh, I love cats. Yeah, I just wasn't prepared to foster 2. It was like, oh yeah, my sister's cat is pregnant. We're keeping 2 cats. I'm like, what? And
pick your battles.
Yeah,
that's all I gotta say.
You start learning that when you get for those of you out there that have never been in a long-term relationship, you start learning to pick your battles, and you start learning what you can win and what you can't lose very fast when you start living with your significant other.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Some battles you just got to take the L on.
Yep. Just walk away.
Well, you know what that's like. You're a married man, and Nick Munoz is in the chat, and he's a married man recently too. Nick, I'm married, and I always win.
Shit. I'm jealous if that's the case.
That is not the case. There's no way in hell that's the case. Fight to the death. Yeah, but like I said, we're going to be talking about Quinton Tarantino. We've already gone over this week's Blu-ray releases. Nothing really to talk about. You just want to jump in right away to Game of Thrones?
Sure.
Because I don't watch too much TV during the week, but I always watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I think that's, other than like the shitty Bravo stuff that my wife makes me watch, I think that's like the only television show that I really like, that I watch. So it's coming out and it's always like, hey, we got Below Deck, or I actually like Below Deck. Sorry, it's cheesy, but I like it. And like the random housewives that she watches. So like now that Game of Thrones is over, I'm sad because I can't remember what the next show that I enjoy that's going to be coming back out. Maybe Homeland. I can't remember when that starts back up, but
Stranger Things is in October.
Okay, I mean but that's not like one that you get to watch. You get to like wait for every Sunday or whatever day it comes out. It's out, and you're just like this for 8 straight hours, and then you're done.
Oh, we're planning like that night. We are planning just to binge almost the entire season.
Does my wife know that I'm talking trash about her Bravo shows? Yes, she knows.
My girl was for a while there. She was obsessed with it's like Flip or Flop or whatever. Basically, like this really like conservative couple that live in Texas that they take old houses.
Yeah, they live in Waco. They're cool. Yep,
yeah,
I've seen that.
Yeah. They're actually not bad. They're pretty cool people.
Yeah, I watch a lot of that stuff. What's she watching lately? Without getting too off tangent. Oh God. It just 90-day visa.
90-day visa.
90-day fiance. Sorry, it's about these people that have like a 90-day fiance visa, and they need to get like married in that amount of time, or the other person has to get shipped away. So it's just some like regular normal American person in like Alexandrov from Russia or some shit. It's so random and crappy.
I've heard.
Don't watch it.
I've heard the new season of, I think it's The Bachelor or something like that, has been like really getting heated up or weird. I don't know. I don't watch that crap.
The Bachelorette that finished. Yep, I had to watch episodes of that too.
I'm so sorry.
Well, I make her watch a lot of baseball. So
okay.
Yeah, when the Nationals are playing, it's always watch that, and then it just immediately goes over to her stuff. So. And we only have one cable box in the house we're currently in, so that's her space, and I give it to her, and I come in my office and just do this, play games, read, whatever, and she just watches a lot of TV. But anyway, Game of Thrones. Yeah. Overall,
what'd you think of the finale?
It was awesome. I still think it was kind of slow building, and I feel like they do this over every season. Like the second to last episode is always the so not the last episode, not the episode before that, but that second, like that third one, the second one before the finale, whatever. That one's always the best. Like, so when the dragon episode, when the dragons really kicked ass, that was still my favorite episode. This was really great. The ending was phenomenal. Fucking ice dragon breathing. I'm like texting with my buddy. He's like, the dragon's going to bring down the wall 100%. I'm like, what? Oh my God, you were right. Holy shit. Kitty.
Yeah.
Hey, Kitty. Oh, and gone. So yeah, it was just kind of slow building up until that point. You knew they were going to end it dramatically, and God damn it, I can't wait. I can't wait for more.
Well, see, you're right. Game of Thrones has this habit where the episode before the last one, the penultimate episode of every season, is usually the biggest episode. It's usually where the biggest stuff happens. It's usually where the most exciting stuff happens. And then they take that last episode to kind of set up the next season, and that's what we have here. Right from, like, in the middle of the episode, I was thinking in my head, we still haven't seen that ice dragon. There is no way in hell that they're not going to bring that back up. That they're just going to leave that just for next season. And sure enough, you get to the ending of the episode, and that fucker just comes in and knocks down the wall, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Breathing his, like, ice beam.
Yeah. Like, I had already knew what was going to happen because I'm a sucker and I read the spoilers online, but I was still waiting for it, and it was still really cool to actually see that happen.
Is it still a fire? What is he? I want to know what he's breathing. Is he breathing ice fire? Like, what is behind the I need to know the physics of this and why it's so powerful enough to bring down that big of a wall. Obviously, it's a show, and they need to get through the wall, but still, I need to understand that.
I'm not entirely sure what it is he's breathing. It looks like fire. I'm assuming,
but it's blue.
It's fire. But it is blue, and that's the thing where it throws me off. I'm like, is it ice or is it fire? Because the logical conclusion is, if it's blue, it's gonna be ice, right?
Right. And that's what pissed me off. I wanted to know why, and they're just, the wall's been standing there for so long, and they just happen to get a dragon, and it just happens to just in one swoop, just done. Like, I understand they needed to do that to progress the story, but in the back of my head, and the whole time I'm cool with it, and it's awesome. Mm-hmm. But in the back of my head, I'm like, come on, come on.
Let's talk about some of the bigger moments of this episode. Obviously, we finally get the meeting that we've been waiting about 6 seasons to finally fucking happen. Cersei and Jon Snow, Daenerys, they all finally meet up, and we finally get the meeting. And these cock teases, these cock-teasing sons of bitches. I want my goddamn Clegane Bowl. Is that so much to ask? I want a Clegane Bowl, and we were this close from getting it. This close. I'm like, oh shit, it's gonna fucking happen. Fuck the spoilers. It's actually gonna happen. He's actually confronting him. And then he turns away. I was like, oh!
I'm gonna fuck your shit. Don't forget it.
Oh, that pissed me off.
JK. Next season.
Oh my god. I'm going to be so pissed off if I don't get my Clegane Bowl next season. Oh. So just off the top of your head, who do you think is going to pull it out on top of the Clegane? I think both of them will just end up dying.
You're probably right, but I hope. I mean, I think everybody hopes the Hound gets his revenge.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Cersei's still a bitch.
Absolutely. Because they can't do another Oberyn on us. They cannot do another Oberyn to us again and have the Hound die without at least killing his brother.
Here's my bold prediction, and this is just, I know nothing, literally know nothing. I think Jaime's going to kill Cersei.
I could see that. Yeah,
I think he's going to strangle her to death.
That's largely with one hand?
He's going to like cut off her carotid and other side with his stump. I think he's gonna kill her.
That's the prevailing fan theory, is that it's gonna be Jaime that's going to be the death of Cersei.
Yeah,
he's gonna be the one that's gonna eventually cause her to die, and it makes the most sense. He's the Kingslayer. He's killed a king already, and this is probably where it's gonna end up going. But I can see also Jaime losing his life because of it as well.
Yeah. Either everybody's going to die.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Just prepare your buttholes for a lot of people dying in the last season, because it's the last season.
Yeah.
Just prepare. A lot of the characters that you have come fond of will likely die.
Yeah. Then some of the other bigger moments that we had, Arya and Sansa finally double teaming up together, doing that Wonder Twin power thing. Oh my god, the look on Littlefinger's face when he knew he was fucked. Priceless.
So great. He was just like, priceless. He was like, excuse me?
Like, you could literally pause it the moment Littlefinger knew, oh shit.
Well, I said that. I was like, oh shit! And then she just dead. Right.
It was
get you some.
So good, man. It was so good. Like, it's just, he was not prepared for it. You could tell he was like, because you're not going to be prepared for a psychic king to blow up your spot.
Yeah. Oh my god! It was that was a good that was a good moment. I'm glad they finally did rid of him, because he conniving for too long, meddling for too long.
He was a dick. He was the biggest dick in Game of Thrones.
Yep, easy.
But he was always one step ahead of everybody. Like, literally every single time somebody would make a move, he would be there, and he would call it out, or he would take it to use it to his advantage. This was the one thing that he couldn't predict, which is kind of ironic considering it was the psychic kid that brought about your downfall.
And then the two final things, one that my wife really enjoyed that I think all of us think it was kind of a Luke and Leia took it too far.
Oh,
with John and Daenerys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then finding out who John really is.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't see why they didn't.
They've been hinting at that for forever.
And then you knew from the very end of last season that was
he's a Targaryen. We know it.
Yeah, come on. Why cock tease us? Just say he's a Targaryen.
So she's his aunt, right?
Yes, she is his aunt.
So it's not so there's 3 children from her father. It's one of the others. So he's the son of the son that died that we don't know.
Yeah, I believe that's how it goes.
Right. He's not the son of the jackass that got gold crowned by.
No.
Yeah. He was a dickbag. So not him. He's their third brother that we don't know of. He's his son.
Yes, I believe that's how that.
That's my understanding.
There's a whole giant map explaining the bloodline.
I don't understand the age difference. Is she's old but she looks young, or
who? Daenerys?
Daenerys. Like they seem to, they're the same age in the show, but she's his aunt. Like
it's kind of, hey, Matt Miranda. Hello?
Matt.
Yo,
Matt, what's up?
Matt has joined us.
Guys?
Not much, man. How are you?
Good. Just got off work, so.
Hey, man.
Nice.
We're just we're talking last night's Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Did you watch it?
It's a good one. Yeah.
Okay. So we were just talking about the incest situation, the whole Daenerys and everything like that, and Jon Snow. We're trying to figure out exactly how the age plays into it. Because in the books, when the books first start out, Daenerys is, I believe, 12 years old. She's either 12 or 10 years old. And I'm pretty sure Jon is older than her in the books also.
I thought he was 14 or something.
Yeah, he's around that. He's older than her in the books.
But she's his aunt. Which, was her brother way older than her? I guess that would be the only way it would make sense, is that she's more his age, but her older brother, he must have been older, was way older than she was. Gave birth to, had John, and they were roughly the same age. That's the only way it makes sense in my head. And that's what I'm sticking with anyway, to make it not as creepy.
Yeah, that's really the only thing that makes sense. I mean, you'd have to be at least 12 to 15 years older than her or something.
Yeah, her brother had to be that much older. That's the only thing I could think of. And then they banged. And it was weird. And my wife was like, all right. I'm like, they're fucking related.
We had the same reaction at my house. My girl was like, oh my God, it's finally happening. I'm like, that's his aunt. The first season, we were against incest. We were against this shit in the first episode. Cut to 6 years later, woohoo! Incest.
It's literally like somebody that was involved with Star Wars was like, I finally get to get this done. My dream is complete.
I mean, which I get it. Technically, they don't know that they're related, so they're kind of like, they don't, yeah.
What are they going to do when they find out that they're related?
They're Targaryens. It doesn't matter. Targaryens incest all the time. They used to keep the bloodlines pure. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. I honestly think I think the series is going to end with Jon dying and she's pregnant with his son.
Yep.
I just wanted to see. So I want to see him on the throne. That's been my goal. The whole show was, I've been thinking him, nobody else, and then he's just from this nothing, nobody. Go serve time at the wall, matriculate, work your way. Boom, you're the king.
Yeah.
Game over. That's what I want. That's my dream.
I hope Jon gets pregnant. Nick, what the hell?
This is not that shitty movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger where he got pregnant.
There's a movie with. Oh, there is. What was it called again?
Junior.
Junior. That's right.
Yep.
That's right. That was a terrible movie.
Yep.
Did you see the new movie that Arnold's coming out with lately? The trailer just dropped like today or something like that. It's batshit nuts. I don't know the name. I forgot the name of it, but it is batshit nuts.
Jesus. He's got a bunch of stuff coming out. What the fuck?
Yeah, the guy's been working. He has been working a lot.
He's got. Oh, yes.
What?
He's got triplets.
No.
A sequel to Twins.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
That's bullshit. There is no way.
Yes, it's him and Danny DeVito, and you'll never guess who the third one is.
Kevin Hart.
It's not a bad guess. It is a black gentleman.
It is a black gentleman. Okay, hold on. Eddie Murphy.
Yep.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
No, that's never getting off the ground.
Yes, I will see that 5 times. And Ivan Reitman's directing it.
That is not getting off the ground.
Yes. I'm so happy right now. That made my night.
And I agree with Henke. I want to see Braun sit on the Iron Throne.
Oh, my God.
If there is any man that
triplets.
deserves the Iron Throne, it's Braun. That guy's come up, though. Like, if you see his story from where he first showed up to now, where he's leading a whole bunch of, like, an army. What was he before? He was just a mercenary, right?
Yeah. Oh, is that the for hire guy?
Yeah, the Lannister's Employee of the Month.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was nice to see him get back with Tyrion. They're like, "What up, bud? Been a while."
Anybody on this stream watch the new Twin Peaks? I have not.
I can't get through the old Twin Peaks.
I've heard it's a slog.
Yeah, I think my stepdad, who's like 20 years my elder, enjoyed Twin Peaks, and
not for you, huh? Yeah, I couldn't get through it.
The Legend of Conan, Arnold Schwarzenegger as Conan.
But that's been a project they've been working on for a while. Where he's old King Conan.
God damn it! I love you, Arnold. He's like, my political career is over. I've got nothing. Let's go back to acting.
He was rumored to be in the Predator reboot, but I don't think they're going to do it after all. I don't think he's in it.
Well, the
Shane Black one.
Oh, I love Shane Black. Well, he was. They mentioned his character in Predators with what was his name? Robert Rodriguez. They brought it up like he was apparently his character was institutionalized or something like that, and they thought he was crazy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I forgot. It was like a throwaway.
I don't remember that one as much.
I thought Predators was actually really good. We talked about it a little bit last week.
Yeah, we talked. Yeah.
You didn't care for it, Matt?
Is that the one with I don't remember. Is that the one with Lawrence Fishburne where they're like? Is he in that one?
Yes.
No. So the second, the Predators, the more recent one.
Yeah.
That's okay. Okay, yeah, I do remember it now.
Yeah,
it was pretty good. It was way better than Predator 2.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that was we talked about that last week. The only thing I liked about Predator 2 was like the end where he was on the ship and he just had like the collection of skulls.
Yeah.
That was the only thing I remembered from that movie.
And then we get our first little hint at there being kind of a connected universe because you see the alien skull in the background.
Yep.
And everybody flipped their shit like, oh my god, aliens and Predators are in the same universe and everything. And then we eventually got that shitty Alien versus Predator movie. Where the Predator is a friend with the human being for half the movie.
Yep. And that was right. I talked about it last week. They felt like they needed to fit in, get to the chopper, and they just had some random guy go, get to the chopper.
You gotta say it with force. You can't half-ass that. Come on.
Yeah, like just get to the chopper. Made me want to punch infants.
Somebody did bring up. We did forget one thing when we were talking Game of Thrones. Theon getting kicked in the Greyjoys.
Oh yeah, that wasn't his guy. I was like, they set it up. I'm like, he's gonna win this fight. Like,
Yeah.
I get it, cool. And he just need him in the nuts 3 times. I was like, oh, you don't got no nuts.
I feel like, but come on, they're setting up Theon for like a redemption arc.
Yep.
It's stereotypical. Next season, he's probably going to be the one that's going to end up taking down Euron. That they're setting that up so much. It's plain as day.
Yeah, that's just going to be a side story that nobody really cares about.
Yeah,
I just such a bitch the entire show. I just wish I've actually wanted him to die. I'm just like, just get rid of him, please. But it's all right. He was in John Wick, that actor, and he was a bitch in that movie.
Mm-hmm. He has a habit of playing like really swarmy, like bitchy characters.
He's got to be careful. He's going to get typecast into that.
I think it's happening already.
Yeah, like I'm assuming what came. I guess Game of Thrones probably came first before John Wick. It's been 7 years of. So the director of John Wick's like, you'd be perfect. You're a shitty little fucker. Come play this character, the shitty little fucker. Oh shit! All right, well, Matt's here. Let's get on to some.
QT.
Quentin Tarantino.
All right,
let's do this. Let's do this damn thing.
Just to go around the table, first things first. What's your favorite Tarantino movie? And then we'll go kind of in order of what he's put out.
Go for it, Matt.
Reservoir Dogs.
Wow, you're still in love with the first one. Okay.
Original gangster.
Yeah.
It's tough. I think it's a toss-up for me between Django and the first Kill Bill.
Okay. Fair enough.
I think Kill Bill is just like just slightly above Django.
I'm gonna say, and I've said this before, but it shifts. It varies for me. It's either a toss-up between the obvious answers, which are Pulp Fiction and Jackie Brown.
Yeah. I remember loving Jackie Brown way more, and then I watched it again over the weekend, and it was really good, but it's now that I've rewatched it, it's one of his weaker ones. Okay. Like, it's not at the bottom, but I thought I had it way higher, and then I excuse me, watched it over the weekend, and it's not as high up as some of the other ones.
Well, it's so different from the rest of his catalog.
It is. It's the tamest.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most straightforward, and it's like, it's not like this overarching story, and there's not like 15 characters you have to pay attention to. It's just Jackie and God, hold on.
Odell.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And Beaumont Livingston, and what is the other guy's name? Max Cherry, the bail bondsman, and then Michael Keaton's character, the ATF agent, and I can't remember the other guy who was FBI. But yeah, I think the best part of that movie was Robert De Niro getting pissed off at Bridget Fonda in the parking lot, and he's just like, just stop. Don't say another word. Pops her right in the parking lot. And Samuel's like, you shot her? What? You killed her? What? Why? I was trying to dig through that movie and just like quotes and things like that was probably the least quotable of Quentin Tarantino's movies. I don't know what you guys think.
I'm in the same boat as you. It's the least quotable, but I still have such a fondness in my heart for it because it is one of the first Tarantino films that I have seen. Rather than it being Pulp Fiction, it was Jackie Brown because my father sat me down and we watched it together. And then I went and saw the rest of his catalog. But just kind of starting at the very beginning, Res Dogs. When you come out swinging with Reservoir Dogs as your first movie, a movie that arguably changed the entire landscape of 90s cinema moving forward and independent filmmaking, you come out strong as hell. People don't realize, I think people don't realize just how influential Reservoir Dogs was. When Reservoir Dogs came out, granted, I was like 3 at the time, but I'm hearing all this stuff secondhand and doing research. It was basically like a bomb went off in the movie going circuit, where nobody saw it coming, and then all of a sudden, this movie that Quentin Tarantino shot, I think it was, shit, I forgot how much the budget was on it. It wasn't much. It was something really minimal. And it just came out and lit the world on fire. And it was because of this film that guys like Kevin Smith, guys like, what's the dude that did Boondock Saints, that he came out and he put out the Boondock Saints, where all of a sudden indie films were the big thing. If it wasn't for Quentin Tarantino, we wouldn't have Kevin Smith. There wouldn't be a Clerks. There wouldn't be a Chasing Amy or anything like that.
I didn't realize all those were around the same time frame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was really like the first legit indie movie that do really well. It like broke the mainstream. It was cutting edge.
Yeah. And did you know originally they wanted to cut out the torture scene?
Mm-hmm.
Originally, the classic torture scene was stuck in the middle and everything. Originally, the Weinsteins fought Tarantino. They fought him on that scene, saying, no, we can't have this scene in this movie. And Tarantino fought them back. And ever since then, Tarantino has had a great relationship with Harvey Weinstein. So
because it worked, and he was like, I'm never going to question you again.
Pretty much. No, but it's pretty much that is the case. Where it was one of those things where they took a gamble on Tarantino, and they said, all right, we're going to keep this in the movie. And it ended up paying off for him. Because that is arguably one of the most iconic scenes in the past 30 or 40 years of cinema.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when you say Reservoir Dogs to somebody that has seen it, that scene almost instantly pops in their head.
Yep. Yeah, it's been so long that I need to buy that. I thought I owned it, but I don't. And it's been so long since I've seen it. I need to give it a watch through. But there was just so many. I was like, I'm gonna watch every Tarantino movie I have, and I finished 3, and I'm like, ugh. I felt like such a chore. I was like, they're great movies, but it was just like I felt like I was trying to get through all of them, and I literally just finished Django last night. But no, so I guess moving into his second movie, his second big hit, his real I guess his thing that kind of blew him into national stardom, Pulp Fiction. What can you not say about that movie? It just that there's just so many good things about that film that you can talk about. I mean, Uma Thurman, it made her. It turned all these people into. I mean, maybe with the exception of John Travolta, but
John Travolta's career at that time was floundering, actually.
Yeah, brought him back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was at a point where it was at an all-time low where nobody wanted to cast him in anything.
Yeah, he was doing the Look Who's Talking movies.
God, why did you bring that back?
That's what he was doing in like the 80s, man. He wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, he wasn't doing shit. He was this guy that got, after Saturday Night Fever in those 70s off. And he came in and it was like, holy shit. I think the first thing that obviously is interesting about Pulp Fiction is the narrative style that Tarantino used in it, because it's all over the place. You have characters that are crossing over, coming back, leaving, coming in, and things like that, and it's structurally something that I would argue must have been a pain in the ass to write, because to make it make sense and to make it not seem ham-fisted and to make it not seem, oh, well, this character just pops here out of nowhere. To make the story out of order, but at the same time make it so that it makes sense and it's actually structured really well is just difficult as shit.
Yeah, and I just remember being totally creeped out by it when I was younger, and just because it really attacks some very real adult like things, and whenever it came out, I can't remember, but I think I watched it in my early teens or late teens, whatever, and some of it was like just like the rape scene in the basement.
Oh, yeah.
I remember being scarred for a long time from that. I'm just like, what? I don't even think I could at the time knew what that was and could grasp mentally what it was. And it just, I remember that sticking with me and it just being like almost to a negative to me until later in life when I got to really understand it and appreciate the movie. Is that scene was so graphic. I just remember that sticking with me when I was younger when I first watched it.
Well, I mean, it's not every day you experience your first GIMP.
Yep. I didn't know what that was. Nobody knew. I mean, if you were young and knew what that was going into the movie, you're fucked up.
Well, the thing is, I lived in a house where my father didn't give a shit whatever I watched. Like I've said this before, but I watched The Exorcist like at 4 years old. He didn't care.
Right.
So me being a little hardcover, 6 years old, I'm watching Pulp Fiction, and this dude comes out in a leather black suit, and I have no clue what the fuck it is. And then all of a sudden, Ving Rhames is getting fucked in the ass. And I'm like, what the hell is this? So as a 6-year-old, you can imagine what that does to you as a child.
Damn.
Really messes with you.
You were younger than I was.
Yeah, my dad didn't care.
Damn, I thought watching Big Trouble in Little China when I was a kid was risque.
I didn't see Pulp Fiction until high school, and that movie blew me away. I loved it.
Yeah.
Everything.
So what is it that you like so much about Pulp Fiction, Matt?
I think I'd never seen a movie up to that point with the nonlinear structure, and then it was just kind of. I felt like the bad guys were the main protagonists for the start, and it was really kind of cool just to see the whole journey and everything. And really, the main protagonist is probably Butch, from and I just dug the whole thing.
Bruce Willis's character.
Yeah.
For the really didn't know who to look for. It was just a lot of multiple stories going on that you had to follow, and it was just very different, like you said, non-linear, very different from anything that you had seen up until then. And you just, at the time, I remember not knowing how to process it. I'm like, wait, this is happening, and then this is happening, and then this is happening, and then how he kind of and he's king of this, I think. He kind of weaves this web of all these outlying stories, and then they come together at the end, and just watching that happen throughout the course of the film, and then in appreciating the genius behind it, you just sit back and you're like, guy knows what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
And here we are. I wish it's only a shame. I wish he has made more movies because they're so good, and he just attacks these like great periods, like he does almost. I feel like Jackie Brown's almost to a certain degree a blaxploitation film. Like it's his take on a blaxploitation film. Kill Bill is his take on a 70s martial arts film. Django is he's attacking slavery in that time period, and then Inglourious Bastards is World War II and the Jews. Like what's he gonna, and then what's he gonna do next? I want to see more. I want more.
He's got what was it on the Manson family? That's the
Manson
rumor.
Family, yep.
That's the rumor project he's working on right now, where the script is apparently done.
Really?
And
I think he said he only wants to make 2 more movies. Then he's gonna retire. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's a little old, right? He's probably is he in his 60s?
I think
he's pushing 50 or so. Yeah.
Let's take a guess. How old is old Quentin Tarantino?
And the thing is Quentin, in my opinion, puts out quality, not quantity. Because we wait a while for these movies to come out. But I was looking at his catalog, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Arguably, his weakest movie was his last one, Hateful Eight, which I thought it was okay at best. I didn't love it.
That's the only one I haven't seen.
Man. I hated Death Proof.
I've never seen it. I've never seen Death Proof.
Yeah, those are the only two I haven't seen.
That was the only one of his I didn't like. Everything else I've liked, some more than others, but Death Proof I didn't care for it at all.
That was like a B movie, right? The Grindhouse B movie that he did with Robert Rodriguez and all that. Yeah, I haven't seen that.
I like Planet Terror a lot, but Death Proof was Kurt Russell was cool.
Oh, it's Kurt Russell, man. You get Kurt Russell, you get Kurt Russell.
Yeah. So going back to Pulp Fiction, what do you think was in the briefcase?
I was just about to ask you guys that. What do we think was in the briefcase? I don't know. I've heard theories online as to what it is. Some people say it's like a portal to hell or like a devil's contract or some weird shit like that. But I've never really looked into it too much.
I've heard and I've read some stuff that people think it's Marcellus Wallace's soul or something like that. I don't know if that's possible because like he had this mark on his neck. Like I guess I went to this film class and some guy was trying to break it down about some religion or how the soul's extracted from the back of their neck or something. That was a little too deep for me, but I mean, I could see it. I just like the whole ambiguity of not knowing what it is. That adds to the whole mystery of it.
Right, and there's something to be said about not telling me every single thing. I hate that. I hate that so much, and I think that's probably part of the problem. What's going on with some of our favorite horror movie icons is what's known as the pussification of them, where we are giving them backstories, and in a way, we're giving them these contrived and convoluted and just dumb backstories that it actually weakens the character. I don't need to know necessarily why the guy from Texas, why Leatherface is the way he is. All I need to know is that fucker can run and he carries a chainsaw, and I better haul my ass if he's coming after me.
Right, exactly. And not to get too far off on a tangent, but this Joker origin story movie, same thing. I don't give a fuck about where the Joker came from. He's crazy. That's all I need to know. That reminds me of that. Sorry.
Let me go and check it real quick. I'll be back.
All right, you're fine.
You guys can keep going on.
Yeah, man. I thought it was a joke when they announced that, but it looks like it's real, and they got Scorsese attached to it. I hope it doesn't get made, but
no. Just Warner Brothers, stick to your. You made a good movie. We'll figure out if you made a second good movie in a row here in a couple months. And God,
focus on Batman at least. Get that Batman movie out first.
Yep.
And then
exactly
do what you're gonna do.
Right. Oh shit. All right. Well, let's see. What's next on the old Tarantino? I guess did the Kill Bills come out after that?
I think it was Jackie Brown.
Okay, so we touched base on that a little bit. Do you have any opinions on that movie?
I liked it a lot. I think it was. I could be wrong, but it's the only one he didn't really. I mean, he adapted. It was from a book, an Omar Leonard book. So that might be the first one that wasn't an original composition of his. But it was good.
It didn't have that. That makes sense. That makes sense. It doesn't feel like it had his, some of it had his stamps on it, but it wasn't. It didn't feel like really his.
Yeah.
And that makes sense if he adapted it from a book.
But,
so yeah, then I think and we had touched base on that already a little bit. So
yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, so the Kill Bills were next. I just remember being absolutely blown away by the first one. I'm a huge fan of the first one. Didn't really care for the second one.
Oh, see, I love the first one, but I think I actually preferred the second one overall. The second one, I think, had the better storyline, was the better movie.
Yeah, I mean, the closure at the end was fine. I don't know. I just think they sped through. I wanted them to do more epic fights or just something with the other two characters that they kind of did with the first two and Kill Bill 1. Like I was mentally prepared for that when I went into Kill Bill 2. I'm like, all right, We're gonna have some big ass epic fight scenes. You know, they've got to fight. You know, and they just didn't happen. And I think that's what let me down the most is they built the first one up with these just crazy fights, and then the second one they didn't do it. It was just like, oh, 2 seconds, he's dead.
Oh, we're talking Kill Bill now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we kind of glazed over Jackie Brown since we talked about that a little earlier.
Yeah. Just to kind of touch up, I know we moved on to Kill Bill, but just to kind of jump back real quick to Pulp Fiction. Have you guys heard about this shared Quentin Tarantino universe?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's something like all his other film. They're all like the Fab Force 5 or whatever is supposed to be from Kill Bill and stuff like that.
He's got 2 universes apparently he plays in, is what they say.
Huh.
Yeah. Kill Bill. What else is in that universe? There's the Kill Bill universe, which has both volumes of Kill Bill.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say maybe Django is in that universe as well, but I'm not sure how that works exactly. But Tarantino has actually confirmed that he does have that there is an interconnected universe.
Huh. I'd like to read up on that. I did not know about that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Just
kind of throwing that out there. But yeah, Kill Bill. I prefer Kill Bill 1 to 2. To volume
Thank you.
2. I'm in that boat.
Yep, that's what I was. Matt's on the other side, so I'm the same way. Yeah, he preferred 2.
Sorry,
that's fine.
No, you're fine. What did you like about the second one better?
David Carradine, the whole character, everything. Just I don't know. I just enjoyed 2 a lot. I thought 1 was more action and revenge driven, and 2 it focused more on the plot and why. I mean, I talked to Luis about this, I think a couple days ago, about how we really want the whole bloody affair to finally get released, and I don't know if that'll ever happen, but I felt it would have been perfect as one long film.
And it should be released, because I think you mentioned it to me when we were talking about that apparently the whole bloody affair, there is a cut. It's already cut. It's already edited together, and it's been shown, right? It was shown like once.
He has a theater in LA, and he shows it on occasion, but he hasn't distributed it out. So
that's such a shame. That is such a shame. I think I understand why you like Volume 2 more. Volume 2 definitely has more of that Quentin Tarantino dialogue, which he is known for. I mean, that you posted this today, actually, and I wanted to comment on it. That scene where David Carradine, right before he dies, that Superman speech, just brilliant. Brilliant piece of dialogue.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's what Tarantino does. He writes really great dialogue. You see it right from the beginning of Reservoir Dogs, where they're all talking about the Madonna like a virgin. The tipping, the Madonna like a virgin speech, and everything like that. It's so great, man. Just sharp stuff. And people have tried to emulate it, but they just can't get it right. I told Matt about this a few weeks ago with the Madonna speech. She wrote him back a letter after watching the movie. I think it was something like, "Dear Quentin, Like a Virgin is about love, not taking it in the ass. Fuck you," or something like that. She actually went out of her way to write him a letter.
Oh my God.
But
and I guess we should mention True Romance. It's been brought up a lot in the chat. Yeah, he did write that, and that's a great one too. The Sicilian scene is hands down one of my favorite scenes in any movie. That whole with Christopher Walken and Dennis Hopper.
He gave me the watch.
Remember that scene?
I hide that uncomfortable hunk of metal up my ass.
I mean, you know what I'm talking about, the Reservoir in True Romance?
Yep. My friend and I quote that line every. He's talking about taking the watch from his dad.
No, that's Pulp Fiction still.
Oh, that is? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the True Romance, it's pretty much a whole log speech about the Sicilian bloodline.
Oh, that. Yeah. Sorry.
I don't want to spoil it in case anybody.
Yes, I remember that.
That's a classic.
That's another one I need to go back and revisit. That's a really good movie. I recommended it to a coworker and he thought it was shit. I'm like, all right, well, I'm not recommending any more movies to you. We're definitely not on the same wavelength.
Nima Peru actually makes a good point. Tarantino can't take credit for the Superman scene in Kill Bill. He plagiarizes it from Jules Pfeiffer. Here's the thing about Tarantino. Tarantino steals, and he admits he steals. What Tarantino does, though, when he steals is that he gives you back a better product than what he took from. He's openly admitted that he steals films. He used to do, this was years and years ago, he would go to Austin and he would do a Tarantino Fest, which is where he would select a whole bunch of movies. Cat back there. Which is where he would select a whole bunch of movies and he would screen them for audiences, and he would have a notepad and he would write down what it was that the audiences liked, what he wanted to take from it, and he openly admitted, he's like, hey, look, I'm doing research for my next movie.
I can't fault him for it. It worked. At least he's honest about it and gives credit and doesn't give you a shit product at the end of the day.
Yeah. I've never seen Natural Born Killers.
It's very different.
Is it?
He wrote, like, I think it was a script or a treatment, and then Oliver Stone kind of did his own thing. I think he kind of disowned it, distanced himself from it, but he did write part of it, yeah.
Did he get writer's credit on it?
I'm not sure.
Did he get it?
Natural Born Killers, yes, he did. He did get a writer's credit.
You know who also steals a lot, though? And you'll never probably guess? Martin Scorsese. But Scorsese steals shots. He watches movies and he goes, I really like that shot. I want that exact same shot in my movie.
Oh, shit.
Okay, back on Kill Bill. Sorry, we're kind of getting sidetracked a little bit. My fault. But Kill Bill, I'm a fan of Kill Bill 1 more than 2. Granted, I haven't seen those movies. Jeez, it's been... Fuck, when was it out in theater? Because it was out in theater and then I watched it like once or twice on DVD and I haven't.
0304.
Yeah.
0304? Was it that long ago?
It was.
No.
Yep.
Oh my god. Okay.
There's some eye candy for everybody.
So it's been a little bit over 10 years since I've seen Kill Bill Volume 1 and Volume 2. So I really want to go back and revisit it because I think if I go back and revisit it, I might fall more on Matt's side of this because I do love Tarantino's dialogue more now.
We're showing off our Kill Bills. I got those steel books. I think.
Yeah, yours are cooler.
Ah, you bastard!
But dude, I bought these. I mean, these are like the OG, like.
Oh yeah,
when they first came out.
Ice got me into the Korean steelbook craze, so those are
some of those
pretty much what I buy from now on.
Some of those Korean steelbooks are beautiful.
They got a Reservoir Dogs coming out soon.
Do they really?
Yeah, they announced it.
4K?
No, that's the only bad thing. They're not doing 4K yet.
Ah.
Damn.
So overall, where would you rank Kill Bill? Probably 4 for me. In my top 5.
In your top 5, it is. Well, I mean, earlier I guess I'll stick with my guns. It's my I do enjoy Tarantino's dialogue and I have an appreciation for all that, but it was just something about the first one that was just so action heavy and just gory and over the top and crazy that I loved about it, and I think that will hold my number one spot.
Fair enough.
Personally.
So after Kill Bill, what did he give us? It was.
So he did Grindhouse and Death Proof, but I don't really look over to that. I mean,
are we going to talk about it, or do you just want to blossom right by it? Because I haven't seen it, so.
Me neither. I really don't have any commentary on it because it's just I never watched it. I never really had any interest in watching it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's a good dialogue scene he writes in that movie too, but I don't know. The whole movie just felt like a mess. It was all right. It's nothing great.
Do you even kind of consider that in his catalog of films? Because technically, it's
not really. No.
I thought it was just a mashup with him and Robert Rodriguez, and they just came out with 2 films, and it was just like, hey, let's do some movies just for the sake of doing some movies because we're Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino, and people will buy it. And I just felt like it was kind of a sellout to they put their names on it, and I had no interest in watching either of them.
We got Machete from those movies, though. I mean,
so those were okay. That's fair. That's fair. Those were entertaining at a bare minimum. Those were entertainment.
I just found out like 2 weeks ago there was a Machete 2.
I didn't see that one. I saw the first one.
I didn't see that. The first one, yeah, that's good. Gratuitous. So then his next big film,
yes,
which I loved. I mean, it's probably it's 3. It's 3. Django's 2. Inglourious Bastards is a close 3. I love World War II. I'm kind of I love history and love that time period specifically. So to see him attack that and deal with that time frame was incredible. And just the opening scene has you on tilt. You're just on the edge of your seat, like what's going on. And Christoph Waltz is just incredible in that film, and talking about comparing, helping you understand why a Nazi would hate a Jew, and you don't know why you hate them. A Jew's like a rat. You don't know why you hate a rat, but you hate it. You think it repulses you, and comparing Jews to rats in that regard, just brilliant, just right out of the gate, like beautiful dialogue, and that scene was just incredible.
Well, and it sets up the tension so well. You've got this character, Christoph Waltz, who at the time he was an unknown. Nobody knew anything about him. And for this, how long is this scene? 15, 20 minutes in that ballpark? For 15 or 20 minutes, this guy just chews up the entire scenery, and you cannot keep your eyes off of this guy because he's a bad guy. He's a cruel bastard. You can just feel it. And the tension is ratcheting up the entire those first 20 minutes are really just a masterclass in how to build up tension to a climactic moment.
And the music he uses, the music he just plays like that one violin string or whatever it is, like as the tension builds up. It's incredible. And also, side note, if you're really, 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 really tired like I was a few nights ago and I tried to start watching, just hit play on that first 20 minutes. Out like a light. Out like a light. I had to start the movie over the next night. I'm like, I'm going to get into this. JK, it's been a long week.
It's a very drawn out scene, but it's the tension is so good, and he does it. The thing is, Tarantino does it twice in this film. He does it in that opening scene, and he does it in the bar scene later on when they're all downstairs. And you have Michael Fassbender's character, and you have the Nazi character who you met earlier on in the movie, and he's slowly starting to catch on that these guys are not real Nazis.
Yep, in Germany you do this.
Yeah.
Not this. Just remember that. If you're ever in Nazi Germany and you order 3 drinks, do this.
And the thing is, you see the moment where he realizes these guys are bullshitting me. Because when Michael Fassbender does this, you get a quick glance of the guy's face, and he goes, and he's just instantly, you're like, oh shit, they've got him. Like, they realize who they are.
Say auf Wiedersehen to your Nazi balls. That is a humongously quotable movie.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think personally, I'm going to go with somebody who while Christoph Waltz was incredible, not enough credit is given to Brad Pitt. I think he fucking steals that movie, in my humble opinion. Some of his one-liners, or just some of the dialogue they have for him, and how he acted in that movie was just incredible. absolutely incredible. Like, I think one of the more underappreciated lines. He's it's near the end, and they had killed after the bar scene, and they need somebody to speak Italian. He's like, well, I speak I speak the most Italian. I'll be the escort. Donowitz speaks second most, so he'll be the Italian cameraman. He's like, what's the third guy's name? I can't remember. He's like, he speaks third most, so he'll be Donnie's assistant. I don't speak Italian. Like I said, third most. I just lost my shit when I first saw that movie with that line. Just little things like that just cracked me up.
Bastards is interesting because it could be argued that Bastards is the movie that introduced my generation was coming up to Quentin Tarantino. At least Bastards came out, I think, when I was around high school. I believe it was in high school or in that ballpark. But when it did come around, everybody was talking about it. It was like, did you see Inglourious Bastards? It's by this guy named Quentin Tarantino. And I'm like, I've been watching Quentin Tarantino movies since I was a little kid. Where have you guys been? His catalog is incredible.
Yeah, and another one of his great lines, and just leading up to, or it might have been just after, he's talking about fighting in the basement. He's like, you don't have to be Stonewall Jackson to realize you don't fight in the basement. Just like random shit like that. It just, his character is so underappreciated, I think, in that movie, and just him leading those guys and demanding the scalps, and I want my scalps. He's my favorite character. I don't know about you guys, but he's my favorite character in that. Christoph Waltz has his place, but I personally think Waltz was better in Django, deservedly so. I think he won an Oscar for that, right?
For both of them.
He won for both of them.
He deserved it for Bastards.
Yeah, he was very good in that. I personally liked him better in Django.
He was good in Django. He was real good in Django.
He wasn't an evil asshole. He was relatable and a good dude. So,
was there anything you didn't like about Bastards? Anything at all? I struggled to find something that I really didn't like.
Yeah, nothing really. I mean, story-wise, I don't know. I mean, they kill Hitler. I can't think of anything that I really hated about it.
Yeah.
I think nope.
Got nothing, huh?
Tommy gun to Hitler.
Yeah, I mean,
to the face.
MP40 right in his dome, just till you can't recognize who he is, and that's it.
By Eli Roth, of all people.
Yeah, didn't he direct the
Hostel?
Yeah, Hostel. Yep.
He directed Hostel movies.
Yep. Yeah, those were. I just nothing really bad about it. Maybe some of the stuff in the middle, the with Fassbender getting kind of briefed, that was kind of boring. Okay. By Mike Myers, and that was just kind of like a chill way to fit him into the movie. Like, hey, here's Mike Myers. Here he is. He hasn't been in shit since Austin Powers. Here you go.
They do kind of shoehorn him in there a little bit.
Yeah, it's like, hey, he did a great British accent in Austin Powers. Let's use that for this. It'll be awesome. Yeah, that's probably very minor complaint, but otherwise,
it's also really apparent Tarantino has a foot fetish. It's true. No, he has a foot fetish.
Yeah.
In almost all his scenes, there's a shot. In almost all his movies, there is a shot where women have their feet exposed, and he focuses in on them. In Kill Bill, wiggle your big toe.
Mm-hmm.
In what was it? Oh my gosh! In Bastards, it was the scene where she had the shoe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think he's admitted he has a foot fetish too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, somebody said. I think I agree with it. Somebody said they wanted Shoshana to survive. I guess that place was going down. I think they were going to kill themselves regardless.
Oh yeah.
Maybe she could have just enjoyed the place burning to a pulp. That would probably been the only anything, I would have liked to see her not get shot in the gut, but oh well.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Friedrich Zahler. Fucking guy. I hated that character so much too. He just did a good job of making you hate the characters that were supposed to be hated and like the characters that were supposed to be liked.
Just so we can kind of keep moving on because we're already over the hour mark. Next movie, Django. Overall thoughts? Loved it. Love Django.
Yep.
Love me some Django. Watching it again, I actually watched it the other night. I remembered how fun that movie is. It's just so much fun. It's dark. There are some scenes in there that are genuinely really dark, but it's still a really fun overall movie. It's a great spaghetti western.
Yep. I think one of my favorite actors. He might be my favorite, but if he's not, he's up there. Is Leo, and to see him in this movie, he was just spectacular.
I was surprised he didn't get the Oscar for that.
Yeah. Instead, he got an Oscar for getting raped by a bear.
That is true. That is true. But that was a damn good movie, though. Revenant is really good.
Yeah.
But just overall, Django dug the hell out of it. It's Tarantino's spaghetti western. That was his first spaghetti western film where he was jumping into that universe and just knocks it out of the park. Extremely fun. The only complaint I have, and some of you out there, you're probably going to think I'm like bitching or I'm too sensitive or something like that, whatever. He drops the N-bomb just a bit too much for my taste.
Yeah.
I get the time period. I get when the movie was set, and I get all that stuff, and I get the context and everything, but it was just a little bit too much for my taste. It felt like
I thought about that last night too. I watched it. I watched like part of it the other night, and then probably the second 3/4 of it last night, and I'm like, holy shit! I didn't realize how many times he used that word in this, but I guess he was just being true to that time period. I mean, he used it comically.
It felt excessive though.
It did.
But I did the only times I really enjoyed it or I thought it was like well used, comically used, was with Samuel L. Jackson at the end. Like that was funny to me.
You know what scene always gets me when Django's at the top of the staircase and he goes, "Say goodbye, Miss Candy," or something like that. "Goodbye, Miss Candy." She goes flying.
She literally like, I'm sorry, no, like that handgun from that range is not going to create that much force to knock her clear into the other room. But it's hilarious.
Oh, it was so good. You just see her go flying back, and I'm like, all right, there's no way that really happened, but it was still really good.
Yeah, that's so at its core, it's a love story.
Yeah.
Like at its core, it's an absolute love story, and it's the Trek journey, his journey finding his wife. That's all it's about. That's all it is about to, Django and Christoph Waltz's character. I can't remember, was it Dr. Schultz?
Yeah. Who was it?
That literally, yeah, yep. And again, some more as a dialogue with. I just remember the first time I watched it, I remember being blown away when he was like going through the scene after he had killed the sheriff and then explaining that all to the marshal and just being like, "What? Awesome!"
Or how about the scene with the KKK?
Oh, that's hilarious. That's just fucking fun. I mean, it's weird now with kind of things that are going on in actual real life,
where they can't see out of the mask.
It's still funny as fuck. He's like, "Now let's all agree that the masks were a good idea, but the next time we'll do it right, full regalia."
Oh, that scene cracks me. And then Jonah Hill coming out of nowhere, he's riding the horse. Oh, it was just so many great little moments in that movie that I had actually forgotten about. And revisiting it, I was like, damn, this is still such a good and fun movie. And some of the shootout scenes, the one shootout scene that happens towards the end of the movie where Django is by himself and he's fighting off all these different guys inside Mr. Candy's house. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
So good. And you see that poor bastard that was just laying on the ground and he kept getting shot in the legs.
He's just like horrendously yelling at the top of his lungs. He's just like, ah! And how many times he did get shot at least a dozen times.
At least.
He just poor guy. Like, oh my God. I think I laughed the most was Quentin Tarantino's cameo in the end.
Oh,
and
where he
the Australian guy.
Yeah.
He's got the dynamite on him. He shoots the two guys and he hits the dynamite and Quentin Tarantino's gone. I totally forgot about that. And when I watched it last night, I had to pause it because I was laughing for like 5 minutes. It's so great. But yeah, I mean, he attacks some serious some serious points of history with that and Bastards, and I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I'm curious if he's ever going to do anything that sort of, I don't know, I don't want to use the word controversial, but just something that you wouldn't normally see somebody do. I think that's what I like about him, is he just goes after these subjects and time periods that are not that politically correct.
Yeah. Well, he's going to do the Manson family murders, apparently.
Like, who would do that? He would. So if anybody's going to do it right, I would say he would do it right.
I'm just curious to see if this is the project that he's going to do, how he's going to do it and how he's going to pull it off. Apparently, he's already reached out to Jennifer Lawrence and Brad Pitt to be in the movie.
Wow.
Brad Pitt is Manson?
I don't know. I don't know.
He can grow some long hair and pull it off.
Yeah, he could grow some long hair. He could probably pull it off.
He's crazy enough. He's crazy enough.
Django was also the first movie, Mr. Nage pointed out, where he didn't have his editor, his long-term editor, who was with him all the way through Pulp Fiction and like through all of these classic films. She passed away before Django.
Oh, that's...
Which I think it's readily apparent in his next movie that she passed away, which is, of course, Hateful Eight. I gotta be honest, I'm not that crazy of a fan of Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
Only one I haven't seen.
Since theaters. And it was like, I saw the road show. It was like 3 hours long, so it was. I need to sit down with it again, but it's not high on my list.
Yeah.
Of his movies.
Is it at least worth a watch?
Watch
through.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it totally is, but it could have been trimmed down. There's a lot I think that could have been trimmed down from it. The
first act kind of drags on a lot. It's better about maybe halfway through. It's great, but there's a lot should have been cut out. I thought. Yeah, no, I'm in agreement with you. That opening carriage scene where they're all riding in the carriage could have easily been trimmed so much. There was so much fat there that I was like, why are we sitting through this? Just let's get to the bigger beats and let's get to the house where we have all these other interesting characters that we want to meet. Which is what I like about Reservoir Dogs so much, is because Reservoir Dogs, right at the beginning of the movie, we are introduced to all these guys that we don't know who they are yet, but we know they're dressed in really badass suits and they're up to some bad shit. Like Reservoir Dogs, for all of its, I guess, criticisms from a lot of detractors, it's a very tight movie. It's an hour and a half. I think it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe, and it is tight. It is, this happens, then this happens, then this happens, and we're leading to the ending. There's very little fat on that.
Right. Yeah, I guess I need to. I'll eventually watch Hateful Eight. I just honestly totally forgot it came out. It just kind of slipped by me. Whenever it was it a couple years ago?
At least two or 3 years ago. It's pretty recent.
Okay. It just totally slipped by me. Never even gave.
It came out during the holidays and stuff, so it was kind of.
Oh. It's the only movie, honestly.
It came out during Christmas of all times.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
He was fighting with Disney over some theater in LA that they had the rights for Star Wars, and he was pissed off about it because he was trying to show the film in like 70 millimeter, and there was only a handful of theaters who'd show it and stuff. It was
Sorry. There's only like one movie I'll go see around the holidays, and it's going to be Star Wars. That's literally would be the only thing that would come out around that time that I would go see.
I was going to say Die Hard, but okay.
Or that, or I mean, in the movie theater. Like if it came out in the movie theater.
The new Del Toro movie comes out at Christmas time.
What is it exactly?
The one that looks like the Ape Sapien movie.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Come on, that was an Ape Sapien movie. That originally started out as an Ape Sapien movie, but that Hellboy fell through and that universe fell through, and he's like, God damn it, I'm gonna make my Ape Sapien movie.
I just ordered my Movie Pass subscription, so I'll probably be trying that out next week or so.
Did you get through to that? Because I know a lot of people that were trying to get through to the Movie Pass thing, and their servers were just slammed.
I got through last night. I never got an email confirmation, but it seemed to go through. So hard to get shipped in the mail.
That's so awesome.
I know we talked about this briefly before. What is it? A monthly thing? What is it?
Yeah, it's $9.95 or whatever a month, flat rate. And you can see it's like one movie a day. Mm-hmm. You're allowed to see, and then we can't see the same movie twice. But if you go to 2 movies within a month, it pretty much pays for itself. Mm-hmm. So
what theaters does it work at? What theaters does it not work at?
Pretty much all of them. I think AMC is trying to sue them. But if you go to the site, the Movie Pass site, if you scroll down to the bottom, you can put your zip code in, and it'll show theaters that take it.
Okay.
Most of them do, I think, for the most part.
There's one in particular that if it doesn't, then I'm not really interested in, and I don't think it does. No, because they get. I like Cinebistro, which is like cost a couple extra bucks. Don't have to deal with kids under 21, at least near me. So, no, it doesn't look like they do that. Yeah, it's part of a mall that the mall after a certain time period at night, the mall's rules are nobody under 21. So the movie theater has to adopt that policy. So literally, you just go there anytime after at night. There's going to be no kids there, and you have assigned seating, and yeah.
Oh, that must be so nice, dude. I've had so many times where I've gone into a movie, and it's like we're watching an R-rated movie, and this like the ladies brought their 2-year-old son or their 1-year-old son, and I'm like, why?
Exactly. And
it's 8 o'clock at night.
Or just teenagers, we were all dumb when we were teenagers, and they're just in there yapping and being stupid.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to talk shit to teenagers, but I have.
Well, no, because my parents taught me at an early age when you go to a movie theater, you shut the fuck up.
Right.
And you shut your phone off.
The older I get, the less patience I have for idiots. So I will gladly tell somebody to shut up in a movie theater and not care, not think twice about it.
Well, there you have it, guys. We've gone over most of I think we've covered almost all of his career.
We did.
In one way, shape, or form or another. I have to say, like, looking back at his career, there really isn't a dud, because we're not counting Death Proof, right? We're not counting that in his catalog. There really is no dud. And it's actually kind of impressive to look back on. I think the only guy that maybe has as an impressive of a catalog, and he's had far more movies, is Scorsese. Where I'm thinking back in my head, and I'm like, Scorsese, that was a good movie. That was a good movie. That was a good movie. I'm trying to think of any bad Scorsese movies, and off the top of my head, I can't think of one.
Only current person I can think of that I would kind of, in regards to like, has a short repertoire of movies and around the same time period. Maybe he's a little newer, but Christopher Nolan. I can't think of a bad movie he's done. Granted, I'm biased. He's my favorite director.
Yep.
But I can't think of a bad. It kind of reminds me of that. Like, they're just, everything they put out, they just shit gold. They really don't have any blips on in their arsenal. So yeah,
I wasn't a fan of Interstellar. I didn't hate it.
what is wrong with you?
I
Okay,
didn't
that's
hate it.
if you didn't hate it, that's fair. I will agree with you if you say that like the end kind of lost you and you thought it was a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's totally fair.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay, that's fair. I just was so hyped through the whole movie and just kind of wrote it. So I saw it in like one of the my wife got us tickets to go see it in one of the gigantic IMAX theaters up in Washington D.C. That's part of like one of the Smithsonian museums. So it literally like there's like a 2-story screen. So I just remember just being in awe of watching it in that environment.
Do you have a live
and not
Max?
really
Do you have IMAX?
IMAX. So we've got a couple of the shitty ones that are just the IMAX on like a regular screen. It's slightly bigger or whatever. I don't really pay extra to see that crap. But the one up in DC, if anybody lives in that area or is ever near there, do yourself a favor. If there's a movie playing, I saw Interstellar and I saw The Dark Knight. What was it? The Dark Knight Rises. In that same theater, and holy shit, just that gigantic screen. It was so awesome.
Oh, The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it opening night in IMAX as well.
Yep. Oh god. And that was wasn't that the movie that the Dark Knight Rises was the movie that was that the one that kids shot up the theater in Colorado?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that happened like
good.
literally right before I saw that, and I remember just being very on edge about that going into that movie, and then realizing that I was in DC on federal property, and that probably wouldn't happen.
Well, not only that, but it actually affected ticket sales for a good while after that event. A lot of people were afraid to go into the movie theater.
Yeah.
My mom was one of them. Like, I was still living at home at the time, and she was like, well, if you're going to go to the movie theaters, please be careful. Watch out for anybody that looks suspicious or anything like that. And I actually remember going to the movie theaters, and I'm like, they're checking bags. Like, there's somebody there, a security officer, actually physically looking at bags and making sure that there's nothing wrong.
I remember there were cops and security guards at the Smithsonian where we saw it. They weren't fucking around, man. And I appreciated it. I was like, good, do it. But anyway, do we want to figure out what we want to talk about next week? Do we want to get some chat input?
Next week. What is next week? They're
all saying Michael Bay.
Oh, for God's sake. That's like
Bay.
If we lose a shitty bet, like if Luis loses a shitty bet, then he's got to talk about Michael Bay.
I can do Michael Bay. The Rock, Bad Boys 1, Bad Boys 2, Pain and Gain. Come on.
And just stop there?
Huh?
Yeah.
Then stop there. Don't watch Transformers.
We stop there.
Transformers universe didn't exist.
We stop at those films. That's it.
Oh God, I don't feel like I could intellectually talk about Michael Bay. I'd just be like, explosions. Ah, yeah.
I'd suggest Fincher or Nolan or somebody like that.
Tommy Wiseau.
A Tommy Wiseau episode. Just The Room, where we do a commentary on The Room.
Oh God. Well, we could go back and forth. We could talk about a specific movie in depth. We could continue on the director train. I don't know if I have an opinion one way or another. I do want a Christopher Nolan discussion at some point, whether that's next week or at some point.
We can do Nolan. Nolan could be on the list.
I said Paul Thomas Anderson. That's a good one.
Ooh.
I haven't seen much of his catalog.
Boogie Nights?
Never seen Boogie Nights.
There Will Be Blood?
Never seen There Will Be Blood. We talked about that, actually, where I tried watching There Will Be Blood, and I just fell asleep in the first 20 minutes.
How about
Coen Brothers?
We could do Coen Brothers.
Wes Anderson. Excuse me.
Not to be confused with Paul Thomas Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
Wes Anderson. Have you seen his stuff?
Oh, what did he do? I'm trying to remember.
Bottle Rocket.
Never seen it.
Rushmore.
Seen Rushmore.
The Darjeeling Limited, The Life of Quantum
Royal
Steve
Tenenbaums is probably his biggest one.
World Tenenbaums, yeah.
Never seen Royal
Those are
Tenenbaums.
very eclectic. I mean, he talk about ensemble cast. It's like a director that uses ensemble casts. He literally uses the same dudes in every movie. It's like Luke Wilson, Owen Wilson, shit.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray's in every freaking movie. Yeah.
Well, it's Bill Murray. Bill fucking Murray.
Do you even know who Bill Murray is?
Should do a foreign film episode one time too. That'd be cool.
A what?
Like a foreign film episode. I'd recommend some cool foreign.
That
films
would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Train to Busan, Attack the Block, things like that.
Ooh, Train to Busan was sick. I love that.
I love Train to Busan.
Old Boy.
Never seen it.
That's what you need. You need to watch Old Boy. We need to do
The original one.
Not
the remake. Sick. The Korean one's really good.
How was the remake?
I didn't
even watch it. I didn't want to watch it. I heard bad things. And that's one movie that you shouldn't remake, personally.
I saw The Devil. Ooh, yeah, that was good.
We'll figure it out.
I saw The Devil was fucked up.
Yeah, it was.
We'll figure it out. We'll come up with something. But well, I'm ready to wrap it up. If you guys
I'm ready to wrap it up. I'm ready to go to bed.
I'm ready to get some dinner.
All right, guys, where can they find you?
You live in California, right?
Yeah, it's 7 o'clock here.
Ah, man. I had my beer and I'm exhausted, so time to go to bed. Shit. I'm around. You guys know me. I'm on all the forums. I'm on all the sub forums. You know, find me on the Omniplex. Find me on the Omni Bros. Hit me up on Facebook. If you find me on Twitter, I'm not nice on Twitter. I don't think anybody is.
Nah.
Yeah. So, yep. If you have any questions, want to talk, I'm accessible.
Hey, Matt.
Same thing, man. I'm on pretty much all the Omni Bros extended Facebook pages, or shoot me a message.
They keep
or whatever.
Expanding.
Yeah, man, like an amoeba.
There's just like a new subgroup every week. Somebody's like, "Is there a group for this?" And now there is. Shit.
There's how many groups are we up to now? We've got the TV one. We've got the otaku group. Got the video game group.
Collectibles. The
collectibles.
Yep. Crypto's Den.
I'm surprised we don't have a wrestling subgroup yet.
I think that's coming after the last post a couple weeks ago.
I'm really surprised we don't have that yet.
Ugh.
Wrestling.
Then we have the vinyl group too.
Oh, that just got started.
There's a vinyl group?
Yeah.
Really?
I stayed out of that one. I don't need to get involved in anything else. I'm good.
Got enough fucking hobbies, man.
That's just a rabbit hole you don't want to go down in, Matt.
I looked at them. I'm like, ooh, those are cool.
I'm trying to get out a poster buying. I don't need to buy vinyls.
You're just getting out of Pops, man.
That too. Those are pulling me back. I just got those Hellboy ones. I'm probably gonna order.
Oh, absolutely. I'm ordering those day one.
I would expect that of you, Luis.
Oh, of course.
If you didn't, I would think something was wrong, or you were just broke at that particular time period.
No, I'm getting every single one, even the Chase variant. If I will stay up all night if I have to get the Chase variant.
They have some sites are selling them online with a full set.
Really? Oh yeah, like $70, right?
That's not too bad considering the Chase is $50 by itself sometimes.
Really?
They're just hard to find. It's like it's 1 in 6 rarity. So
yeah. Did you see the Pennywise?
Yeah.
It shot up in price. Like I went to eBay to look at it, and oh my god.
Those I guess it's got the embargo lifted for it, and it's been getting some pretty good solid reviews.
Oh my god. Okay. So can we all agree we're gonna watch it opening weekend and then review it the next week?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I'm
scare the shit out of me when I do it.
I
might have to go see it by myself.
Clowns.
I don't know if I can talk my wife into going to see it, but that's all right.
Oh my girl already said fuck you, I'm not watching that shit with you. She said, "I am not."
The Tim Curry TV movie scared the crap out of me when I was like 6 years old. I watched it when I was older, but that TV movie scared the fuck out of me.
Have you seen the clips online where like when Georgie's about to die, when he's walking up to the sewer from the new film? Oh my god, that shit looks terrifying. I showed that to my girl and she said, "Fuck that shit." Because last year there was a string of clowns that were showing up all over the world, and like they were just popping up in random places, and they were creepy as hell. And she's deathly afraid of clowns now. She's like, somebody's gonna walk into a theater and shoot somebody in a clown outfit. I'm like, don't say that.
Yeah, I guess Alamo is one of their events they're doing. They're doing like a clown night for like a screening for it. So everybody who attends can like dress up as a clown or some shit.
I want to do that so bad. You have no idea how bad I want to walk into my screening dressed up as a clown. I know I'd probably get my ass beat by the time I walk out, though.
Have you been to an Alamo before? Draft House?
No, we don't have those here. I've heard they're nice. They have a strict no cell phone policy.
Yeah, no texting, it's no talking. It's pretty cool for that, but I mean, the closest one's in San Francisco. It's a little ways away from me.
Have you ever been to it?
Yeah, I saw Baby Driver there.
What'd you think?
It was cool. The whole ambiance was really cool. I got food there. It was too overpriced, but I like the whole no talking or anything because that's like my big pet peeve in the movie.
Yeah. I will call somebody out in the theater if they're talking. I'm nice about it at first. I'm like, hey, can you turn it down? And if they keep going, I eventually just go, just shut the fuck up.
Internet, here's my cat, Mason. This is the internet.
Does he have a goatee?
No, he's a black and white cat.
Looks like he kind of has a goatee, like a patch going on there.
Yep. Oh, the beach.
Oh.
My wife wanted the cat to be on the internet, so she brought him to me.
Hey, would you like another cat? We have an extra one. Please take a cat.
No.
Please take a kitten.
Oh God. Oh shit. Well, where can we find you, Luis?
Reviews. Twitter.com, hardcover reviews, Facebook.com, hardcover reviews, and of course, Patreon.com, hardcover reviews to help support this channel and to fund it. Just put up a new video. It's kind of a companion piece to an old Hellboy video that I had. Hope that'll help you guys out. It'll expand and let you guys know, okay, I can jump into Hellboy, and if I'm not too sure about Hellboy, these are the books. These are kind of like the main Hellboy titles and the breakdowns of every single title and what is going on behind me.
You're getting attacked by a cat now.
I'm getting attacked by a cat. She's actually a good balance for a kitten.
I'm hoping those Ape Sapien Volume 1 and 2 get collected later. Because I know they're not in the first hardcover.
Did you see that they were reprints or like a Volume 1 of Plague of Frogs hardcover on In-Stock Trades?
Yeah. I posted that. Because I didn't know if the other ones were getting reprinted also.
There was a rumor that it was either a reprint or they found some like extra supplies that they had. There's like two different rumors floating around right now. Nobody knows what's going on. It's Dark Horse. It's Dark Horse. They've been known to just reprint stuff out of random. Like there's no solicitation for it or anything like that. It's just you go on In-Stock Trades and say, oh, they're reprinting this now. All right, but thanks for staying with us tonight, guys.
Yeah.
I have to go to bed, and the kitten's not there. She's on the bed. I'm wishing everybody a good night. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. It was fun.
It was fun, man. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody who joined us tonight. We talked Quinton Tarantino. I'm not entirely sure what next week's topic will be, especially since we won't have Game of Thrones. Sad day. But stay tuned. We should have something coming up.
We're going to talk about Bravo shows.
No.
Just kidding.
No, I can't do 2 hours of Bravo shows. Have a good night, everybody.
All right, take it easy, y'all.